Hello, everyone. It's now 11:07 p.m. Um, I'm not gonna be too long on here. Um, but I am extremely tired and sleepy. Excuse me. Been feeling the sleep deprived feeling all day long, and been still affected by being sleep deprived the night before last. And today I was like absent-minded and clumsy enough that after lunch I almost accidentally forgot to clock back in. I almost accidentally forgot to clock back in, but I clocked back in. And then I almost accidentally forgot to pay for dinner, but I paid for the dinner, dealing with, the sleep deprivation and everything, making you clumsy and forgetful and everything. And so I'm like, wow, it's very hard. I'm trying to be extra careful, you know. I accidentally scared myself because um the fact that both of those things would have been big mistakes, you know. Excuse me. So it is painfully cold outside. And extremely like tornado kind of windy outside tonight. And thankfully I finally got my clothes washed. I was able to get everything washed, but um excuse me having such few clothes, um I had to take and wash everything, and then after washing everything I had to switch into a clean set of clothes to to wash the dirtier ones that I was just wearing. So basically I had to wash clothes twice, but didn't have enough money, well, didn't have enough coins to dry the the second bit of clothes. And it was hard for me to even get quarters for laundry. But eventually I was able to get clothes for laundry, and I was able to successfully wash my clothes, excuse me, and everything. So, um, thankfully today, Mr. Jeffrey and Miss Dakota gave me no problems today. They were nice today. But Mr. Raymond, he was acting weird today, you know. So when he was washing the dishes, he acted like as if you know, it may it's like no way in hell am I gonna deal with this for over 7 hours or however long. But he was you know, I was wondering if he was doing it for noise harassment on purpose. You know, you know, banging and slamming the dishes and everything extra hard. You know, so bad that I was forced to have to put my earbuds in. So I had to put my earbuds in, and it still was too loud, that it hurt my ears and gave me a headache. And it's like I was wondering if he was doing that on purpose for the noise harassment, or was he slamming the dishes and stuff because of excuse me, being upset about having to wash the dishes, or being upset that he, being upset that he had to wash the dishes. So, I mean, my ears still kind of feel like they're hurt or ringing from that, you know. And I was wondering if he was doing that on purpose to try to drive me to want to quit, or drive me to lose my temper or go off, or or to sabotage my day, or make me feel like I cannot work around him. So, I mean, it was one day recently, I don't remember what day it was, he was kind of loud with the dishes, but I was wondering if he was like doing that deliberately, you know. So, and I was bothered by the fact that today I realized that whether I take a lunch break at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, he always takes a lunch break when I take a lunch break. And then he will always take a lunch break when I take a lunch break. And I was bothered today because I was wondering if he narcissistically, falsely set himself up to think that he's my so-called handler or something. You know, and I felt very bothered by that. Because, I mean, I was wondering why else. I mean, he probably would, if he would have if other people, he would have done to other people what he does to me, but pretending that he's checking in on me every 5 minutes, and pretending to fake compliment me, and I'm like, motherfucker, you're not even the man, any of the managers. And as I said, this past Sunday, Mr. Troy yelled at him about being told to do his job several times, and other co-workers were saying that he is so focused on meddling in other people's job or do everybody else's job but his own. You know, and so, but Mr. Troy was told him to train me and show me how to do the silverware. So but then if he's such a bad worker, why would you send him to train me? And I've had like bossy coworkers, or but that's like when I have to deal with living in a place and dealing with narcissistic, nosy, meddlesome, controlling next door neighbors who act like they think they're an authority figure over me, or act like they delusionally believe that they're my parent, and try to order me around and tell me what to do and try to control my life, every aspect of my life. So, I mean, if I might have that one single neighbor that act like they think they own me, and try to police my life and tell me what to do, in just about every place I live. And I realize it seems like that. I mean, sometimes it could be multiple co-workers who try to control everything you do. So as I said, it's freaking annoying for him to keep on coming in every 5 minutes and try to snoop in and look and see my performance or how I'm doing, or tell me to have this posture and that posture, or don't fold your arms, and or make sure you're doing it. Like, come on. But then I didn't know that he was supposed to get off at like 5 o'clock. And it was like a few minutes before. And I was asking like if any of the guys could, if they had any more silverware. And then he said, "Oh, I can't do that. I was told not to help you or something," he said. "I was told not to do that, or I was told not to, instructed to not help you or something," he said. And I was like, "Huh?" And so then he told me that a few times and I was still confused. And he said it like with a like smart ass and rude and with an attitude. And then later on, he tried to make like as if he was trying to ask me for a hug, before he left. And then like I felt uncomfortable, upset, and like dirty like for the rest of my work shift. But that female perp with the red dreads, she tried to pretend to be fake friendly and wait till shortly before I'm done eating to start to try to ask me all kinds of questions, and then pretending to be fake nice while smacking her freaking food. And then as the way she said it in front of me, and I don't know her name, but they had the other coworker that's a dishwasher, and I guess he was upset all day. And so she turned around and said, "Do you have a role?" And he's like, "What you mean?" And she's like, "You got a role? You have a dinner role?" And he's like, "Yeah." And so she was like, "Let me have a piece." And so he's like, "No." He's like, "No, man, no." Like, and then afterwards, she's like, "Oh, well, you ain't got to get an attitude. I was just fucking with you or whatever. And so I mean, and she had a huge plate of food plus dessert. So it's like you can have a big huge plate of food or a huge tray of food. But when I do, I'm greedy. But you're twice my size and you're way taller than me. But but that same guy, like, it was approximately 15 minutes before I was scheduled to clock out and leave. And I said, "Well, do you also happen to have any silverware to that I can roll up?" And so he acted like as if I was putting pressure on him. I asked him one time. I didn't keep harassing him about it. I just asked him once. And so then I said, "Well, I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to burden you or whatever." And he's like, "Oh, no, it ain't your fault," or whatever. And he was like upset about something. So I mean, it's like with the silverware thing, it's like if I stay quiet and don't, like, it's like they were when I try to show persistence with wanting to work or whatever, and trying to show dedication with wanting to work. And so when I try to ask for silverware, and then they would act annoyed. Like, even me asking them one time, they would act like as if I'm pestering them or something, And then when I don't say anything, they get mad and being like, "Well, you should have said something." Well, you got an attitude when I try to tell you something, you know. And so I was waiting for silverware for over 30 minutes, and I didn't even know that they had some already. And none of the guys alerted me, but I was waiting around because one of them said, well, oh yeah, I'm going to get you, the silverware or whatever. And I was waiting around, and then everything piled up. But good thing I was able to get everything done in time, and I had to work faster, you know. So, but when I did like this seasonal position that lasted only a couple of days at Honey Baked Ham, which was on Causeway, and they had this lady who she was seasonal just like me, and it was like the Easter job position, and it was like 2 or 3 days or so. And I was disappointed with that job because that man the manager, he lied and said that he was going to give us a lot of hours to work. And he lied and said that he was going to eventually hire us for permanent employment. I didn't even get a whole lot of hours, and I was not selected for permanent employment. But this lady she was older than me, but she was not the boss or the manager. And she narcissistically set herself up and she wasn't even told to come and work with me or work alongside me, but she took it upon herself to narcissistically micromanage and control everything I did. And I kept getting in trouble, when she was demanding for me to listen to her and telling me what to do. And then people were saying that the job that she was supposed to do, that she did it all wrong, and everybody had to just redo her job all over again. They have a bossy coworker that's not your boss and act like they think they're your boss and try to micromanage you and try to order you around and tell you what to do and instill fear and intimidation, and then you can get in trouble with the manager by listening to them. But then if you stand up for yourself, then they, like what happened with the Roderick guy at Seville Quarter, if you stand up to them and because you had enough and sick and tired of it, then they call themselves trying to punish you with the silent treatment, and then don't even give you eye contact, and then think they're punishing you with with the silent treatment, and treat you like you don't exist, and make you feel really bad, and then acting passive aggressive and childish, and just doing petty annoying stuff. So but yeah, that lady was trying to boss and control me, and everybody said she was always doing her job wrong. And I have some other instances with dealing with bossy coworkers, with especially, like when I was working at certain places, if they have 17-year-olds ordering me around trying to tell me what to do, and or even 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds, teenagers trying to order me around and tell me what to do, and think they got high authority over me, and think they got the authority to punish me. If I'm 37 and you're 15, and you think you act like you delusionally believe that you're the mature adult with authority. And I've had that problem with dealing with bossy coworkers that are younger than me, or pretty much young enough to be my child, even if they are 20, 21 years old. I'm 40. And people don't even respect me as a 40-year-old. See me off first sight in automatic disrespect and abuse. And people would try to falsely justify why they think I deserve to be treated this way. Excuse me. But I'm really bothered that I started to sense the idea that Ray guy must try to set himself up as my handler or something. And he ain't mentally got it all himself. As I said, if people say that he never does his job right, or if they got to tell him what to do or get on him for not doing what he's supposed to do, and then checking in every 5 minutes talking about, oh, you're doing good, so, and I'm pretty sure I have to deal with him again tomorrow. So I'm going to try to go for now. My eye is itchy. I'm sorry. My eye, I've been itching. And so, I'm going to try to go for now. But, if that one person did not help me, I would have got no help. If that one person didn't help me, I would have got no help. And it's like by the time I got out from work this evening, well, it was already cold later this morning. And it was raining still this morning. But this evening, it was painfully cold, brutally cold, traumatizingly cold. And then cold tonight, cold tomorrow night, and then cold Monday night. And then I have to be out on the streets, after Monday night, because I didn't have, I only had enough for, because I didn't have a way to get the the weekly motel or whatever like I was expecting or like I thought I would get, excuse me. So, but I'm thankful that, part of the money was used, towards much needed laundry. And I was able to get me, some food or whatever, and I'm sitting here feeling like I cannot wait for, I really think that my paycheck, not this coming week, but another week after that, that, I think it's going to be the net pay. I think it's definitely, I'll be surprised if it's over $600. But I think it would be less than that. And then I'm trying to figure out what is something that I can do, to find a way to get me a roof over my head or a place to live. Because if I get like $600, and I can't even get like $600 of 2 weeks of pay, and all that could get me is like possibly, if they have any openings, 1 week of motel and then food, toiletries, laundry, or whatever else. So, it's a struggle. It's hard. And as I said, I can't even live anywhere long term or permanently due to this gang stalking. And they're forcing things to be way unnecessarily way more expensive for me. If the neighbors were good neighbors and respectful, I could have still been living at that apartment in Pensacola, and and it's like the rent was low enough that I wouldn't even have to worry about working. But I wanted to make an extra income and work. You know, as soon as I tried that, they gang stalked me out of my apartment, and I did not foresee that 2 days later I would end up straight up back homeless on the streets again. Well, I mean, I wasn't on the streets right then and there, but I was living in hotels and stuff. So it's to a point where it seems like only one person had been helping me lately, you know. But as I said, the gang stalking network they will make sure I don't have any help, and they think that my suffering is funny. But when I'm doing well, they get angry. And then before I go though, they had this one coworker who came in today, and he said that he hadn't been to work in a while, and then he came back and he said that just in a short period of time he didn't realize such drastic changes. And a lot of people, I'm glad that a lot of people got my back and defending me, and they even said it's unfair and messed up that that the managers, that they even see the managers bullying me. And that they want to make all these changes. Once I get there, they want to change everything around. And I heard that a lot of the workers have been frustrated and wanting to quit. So I mean, and I tried to apply for a few overnight caregiving positions, hoping that maybe that can get me off the streets. And guess what they did? They kept on pestering me about filling out this application, and then I filled out the application, and then I got instant job rejections. Now, well, you said you didn't need experience, and that I didn't need experience, and that you would train me. See, they be lying, saying that no experience necessary, we will train. And then they refuse to hire you because you don't have experience. So, I don't know. Am I going to just have to be just homeless and struggling between the streets and hotels and motels every doggone day, and can't have a permanent place to live? I can't even be in extended stay hotels because they'll try to gang stalk me out of what happened at the in-town suites. Can't even stay anywhere for freaking long. So I thought this video was gonna be 10 minutes or less, but I ended up saying, it took me almost 30 minutes to say what I need to say, but I had enough for since I couldn't get the weekly motel or the extended stay, I had to pay, and they raised the price on weekends, and I had to pay for a regular hotel 3 nights, and then the rest of the funds, as I said, I used it on, lunch and dinner. And I still got a little bit left over, but I'm, using, I used it on laundry, and excuse me, I got a little bit of cash, but I was only able to get $10 in quarters, and it was hard to get that. But it would have took me $12 to wash and dry both washings of clothes, but the the second bit of clothes, I'm letting them air dry overnight. Well, probably over the past couple of nights. Excuse me. So I'm gonna go for now. I'm really scared. Having to be back on the streets Monday, and but I'm gonna be off from work Monday and Tuesday, because tomorrow will be 5 days in a row that I worked. You know, and so I'm off Monday and Tuesday, and I would hate to spend my off days just struggling and homeless on the streets rather than lying in bed resting and trying to recuperate or recover, you know. So, but I'm gonna go for now, and thanks for listening to me.